what science is not able to tell us is where it gets really interesting. Hi, this is Victoria Vives Khuong, and this is the Divine Sexuality podcast. Today, we have a somewhat self-explanatory theme. What is an orgasm? Well, yes, we know what is an orgasm, and we know experientially. However, they are a hotly debated topic in biology, and there is so much that science cannot explain or tell us about what they are or what they are for. So if we talk from a biological standpoint, an orgasm is a very complex physiological and neurological process that is typically described as the climax or the third stage in the sexual response cycle. If we think of muscular spasms, euphoria, and pleasure, that doesn't sound like sexy, but it does describe in a mechanical way what an orgasm is. But what science is not able to tell us is where it gets really interesting. Sex has been super important throughout history for much more than just procreation. We know that sex is the center of so many cultural narratives. Sometimes it takes on a more metaphorical and obscure representation, but it is there. So it is reasonable to accept that orgasm, being a vital aspect of sex, should be always there also. Orgasm is a gateway to possibilities. It is an altered state of consciousness that, if nothing else, facilitates a greater sense of well-being through pleasure, excitement, relaxation, and vitality. If we are thinking more from a point of view of awareness and intention, orgasms are essential for connection and bonding in romantic relationships and can also bring personal growth, spiritual exploration. And if we consider that we are talking about the most powerful creative force in the universe that creates babies, creates life, I mean, imagine if we think of how that ties into creating other things in our lives and fuel our lives, our businesses, everything. And all of this is something that we will be exploring in greater depth in the next episodes. But before we move forward, there is something that is super important to cover. Are orgasms accessible to everyone? I would say so. We don't really need a partner to have one. We don't really need to have social status or special equipment or products or any training or anything. So there must be an abundance of orgasms happening in the world, making us all super happy and fulfilled and bringing all this sense of connection and personal growth. Sadly, that's not the case. So this is where things get a little bit more complicated. And there is, in fact, a hidden and mostly silent epidemic in the world. An estimated 75% of women have difficulty achieving orgasm, and a significant number of those women will experience few or no orgasms in their lives. So what is happening? What is the issue that is dificulting these orgasms? It is a messy and complicated problem with roots in societal values and conditioning around sex. And in order to truly tap into the power and amazing benefits of this force of sexuality that we all have available to us, we need to work on these issues. So everything starts by having this awareness, and sometimes we might be suffering in silence and not share with others that we are actually having this situation and not having the experience of orgasms in our lives. These are important aspects in our lives, in divine sexuality, and therefore very important part of this podcast and my work as a mentor. So in upcoming episodes, we will be exploring the reasons for this lack of orgasms. I will share my story, how I went from having this difficulty to tapping into the multi-orgasmic experience. I will be sharing the different kinds of orgasms that we can enjoy as women. We have such a wealth of orgasms. Oh my goodness, if I had known all these years. Also the benefits of orgasms and how to move from that sexual frustration into understanding how to achieve orgasm and even multi-orgasmic sex, and how this can transform our lives and relationships for the better. Our lives, our relationships, our health, our abundance, our businesses, everything. I know that sometimes this journey towards sexual wholeness can feel so challenging and so lonely because I have been there. That is why I created the Divine Sexuality Sisterhood, a place where all women can connect and work through any of our concerns together. And because this is online, it is so supportive in these times that we are living. Just go to victoriavives.com/sisterhood, and I will make sure to put a link below. If you feel that this information was helpful to you, and you think of somebody that might benefit from hearing it, please do share. We are together in this. This has been the Divine Sexuality Podcast. This is Victoria Vives Khuong, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. I love you.